Hey Hamza, thanks for joining me this morning. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, looks like we're here talking about a fantastic business of yours that you have officially listed on Flippa Study Hat. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Sure. So StudyHat is an online edtech company. And the best way to describe it is essentially we take all the textbooks and the worksheets that a student would have had to do previously, and we've turned it into online video lessons.
Okay, perfect. How long ago did you start the business?
So it started in March 2020 last year, and since then we've sort of grown it to 1,000+ students. We've done around $400,000 in revenue in total. So it's grown quite quickly off the gate, and it started off as a side project and then sort of just scaled and snowballed after that.
Oh, fantastic. So, if this is a side project, tell me a little bit more about you and what you bring to the table and why this business was so successful.
Sure. So I used to do YouTube. I used to have a background in creating content, and I saw a gap in the market for online videos because I saw the education system in the UK. It was just textbooks, teachers, even in school, they would just give you textbooks and worksheets. And I was like, hang on a minute, how do we make this easier? How do we make it a bit more efficient? And then I thought, there's no video lessons for maths for students aged 8 to 12 that are actually engaging and good. So I thought, you know what, let's have a crack at it and see where we can go.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, let me ask you this. The $1 million question is why are you selling?
Sure. So the main reason is because it's a side project of mine, and I had to make a decision as to whether I wanted to raise capital for it or simply sell it and hand the reins over to someone that can take it to that next level. Now, since I don't have any intention of raising capital or getting an angel investor on board, I just want to move on from it. And I'm more of an e-commerce and content creator. So for me, my strengths align in those sorts of companies, and I'd rather focus my time and attention on something that I can give 100% into.
Okay, perfect. What would you say is the ideal business model for Study Hat?
Ideal business model would be to continue running it as it is. Because the way it's structured is it's an online education company, and it's sort of not a tuition center. So it's not a tutoring group where you have tutors on board that teach students. It's all automated. So our whole process is to make online education easy and automatic. So a student will log in and they can complete it themselves. And that's the core of the business model, the core structure. Now, in terms of the business itself, there are other ways in terms of, scaling it and growing it, which, if you want to get into, then we can sort of have a conversation about that.
Absolutely. So when it comes to Study Hat, who would you say is your key demographic and your end user?
Yeah, so the end user are students. They're students aged 8 to 12 years old. However, the customer would be the parents. Therefore, a lot of our content and marketing material is tailored towards parents because, kids aged 8 to 12 aren't going to be the ones pulling out their credit cards to pay. It's going to be parents. So that's why we've sort of done that in that way. And we've structured it around parents first, and then parents see the value in allowing their children to study, learn on their own. And then, it goes from there.
Perfect. Fantastic. So let me ask you this. Let's just assume I was going to be the lucky buyer of acquiring Study Hat. What would I need to do to continue running the business as is?
So there isn't much to run the business. It is essentially turnkey. What I mean by that is we spent the last 6 months building out the products and perfecting them. And we had a conversation about this. It is essentially complete. So the products are already complete. The videos are there. The questions are there. And the education curriculum doesn't change. It hasn't changed within 10+ years. And, we've taken a look, we've had conversations with, other educational execs, and they've also said the same thing. We don't see it changing. So the only thing you would need to do as a buyer and as an individual or company that acquires Study Hat would be to focus on marketing the products which are already built and getting it in front of the right customers. And that would be the main focus. And you can use different marketing channels. You can tap into several different streams that we haven't yet tapped into, such as affiliates. You could link up with a JV partner and say, if they've got a blog and tons of traffic, you could say, hey, we've got Study Hat, we've got these courses, you have an audience of millions of parents, why not collaborate? We'll give you X amount as a percentage. And because it's a digital product, you've got, high profit margins essentially. So the room for growth and percentage, does increase greatly. So there's many different ways that you can market and continue to run the brand. So if you've got good experience in those areas, such as marketing and working with different partners, then this would be, the perfect business for you.
Okay. So this kind of comes off to me as almost like a hybrid because it's not quite a software, but it's almost a SaaS-like business or platform where it's pre-built and ready just to be marketed and run.
Correct. Yeah. So the video lessons are there, the quizzes are there. Even when you purchase Study Hat's course, it's all automated. You don't need to have anybody in between to send the login details or ship anything. There's no physical product. It's simply you purchase, you get the login information. Students then have a go at all of the lessons. Then if they've got any questions, we do have one customer support agent that handles all of it on a day-to-day basis.
Now, if you had to handpick a particular set of buyers, what characteristics would those buyers possess that would continue to make Study Hat successful?
I guess a vision to take something that's been built to a higher high. If you just sort of want to keep it running as it is, then that's fair enough. But somebody that really has that vision to say, okay, you've created these products in, a market with 100,000 students taking these exams per year, or 1 million students taking the exams per year. Instead of doing, a few 100K in revenue, how can we do a few million in revenue? And someone with that sort of mindset to take it to that level, that would be the perfect buyer for this type of business.
Now, what are you currently doing to market Study Hats, and what platforms are you utilizing?
Sure. So we do a little bit of YouTube with the organic searches. We're top ranked under a few search terms. So we have a ton of students that come in just from that side alone. Then because we focused on the product, I always sort of say product is first and product is king. Therefore, we really just perfected it. And I would say around 15-20% runs from word of mouth. And then the other percentages are, we've spoken about organic, but also Facebook ads is primarily the customer acquisition channel that we've been using, and dabbled into Google ads previously. So we've sort of done a few things here and there, and we've just really focused in on what's worked and doubled down on that.
Fantastic. Perfect. Now, walk me through how the business makes money in terms of the sales. What is your average order value? Is there contracts? Is it a time frame? Walk me through that process.
Sure. So in terms of how the business makes money, like I mentioned, they'll go to the website or they'll have a funnel, whether it be from YouTube or from Google or Facebook. They'll see this, they'll click on the website, they'll purchase. From there, the average order value for our most of our products are over £360, which is around $400-500. So we have high average order values, and that also means we can spend more to acquire a customer. Because if you're running an education company, many of the competitors, they'll have $20-30 per month as a subscription, which is a good business model. However, you're going to have to spend your marketing budget is going to be a lot less unless you have a lot of funding to have that run rate to carry on. So what we've done is we said, we have a one-time fee of $300-400, and then we can spend more to acquire that customer. And what that also means is, because now you have a customer that's willing to spend $400 with you, if you were a new buyer, what type of products could you release that could cater towards them? Could you have extra tuition classes? Could you perhaps include some exams as a bonus module? Because if they're willing to spend $400-500, then they're probably going to be, and they enjoy using Study Hat, then they're probably going to keep using Study Hat for the rest of their education journey.
Perfect. And then last question is, upon a completed sale, what assets are going to be included with the sale in terms of any social media accounts, email lists, subscribers, customer lists, etc.? What is going to be included with this sale?
Pretty much everything associated to Study Hat. So you've got the trademarks, you've got the domains, the website branding, you've also got the social media accounts, which does also not only include Instagram and Facebook, but also YouTube channel. 2 YouTube channels, in fact, one focused on the UK, the one that we're ranked on, and then also we've got one in Singapore. What else does it include? It includes the contracts with teachers, where we own the assets to the videos. You also get the video lessons, the quizzes, 5,000 questions. So pretty much everything associated with the brand you'll be getting, and also the marketing material. The marketing material is probably the biggest asset, because it's what runs the show. You'll get all the ad copy, the ad creatives, photo, video ads, everything that you would really need to run the business. It will be handed over to you.
Perfect. I love it. So I've had a chance to take a look at Study Hat. I think it's a fantastic asset. I appreciate your time today. One thing that Flippa does like to do is keep things very human. So the most important question of the day is, what's your favorite color?
Favorite color, Dan? That's a hard question. Actually, I would say light blue. Yeah, light blue.
Fantastic. Great choice. Great choice. Well, Hans, I appreciate your time today. I
Yeah,
look forward to seeing your asset on Flippa. Thanks again.
thank you.